Well, some U.S. lawmakers say aid deliveries to Puerto Rico are being held up by an old, obscure law. The Jones Act of 1920 says all ships moving goods between U.S. ports must be built, owned and operated by Americans. But critics say it needs to be lifted to get more supplies moving. President Trump is weighing what to do.
Well, we're thinking about that, but we have a lot of shippers and a lot of people and a lot of people that work in the shipping industry that don't want the Jones Act lifted. And we have a lot of ships out there right now.
Well, criminal defense attorney Brian Claypool joins me now. Brian, welcome. Always good to have you with us. So this is a World War I era shipping law. Just explain to our international viewers why it was enacted in the first place.
It was enacted right after World War I because the United States was worried about what's called German U-boats. They had sunk nearly 5,000 U.S. ships during World War I. So we enacted this law to have the military ready and prepared in the event of another national emergency. So it was purely for military purposes.
Okay, it was purely for military purposes, but it's still on the books. The president says he's weighing in on it, but he says some American ship owners, shipping companies are against it being waived. Why?
Well, Aisha, this is a classic case of politics being pitted against public safety. I find it really tragic that in a really dark moment like this, people in Puerto Rico are gasping for air. They need water, they need electricity, they need food. And we have a very powerful shipping lobbyist group. You've got 4 really powerful shipping companies who send goods to Puerto Rico. And there is a powerful lobbying group that represents these 4 shipping companies. Senator John McCain, 2 years ago, Aisha, he submitted a bill in Congress to repeal the Jones Act, but this powerful shipping lobbying group beat him down.
What's interesting is that, and it's worth pointing out to our viewers, that after Houston and after Texas and Florida, they suspended it immediately, right, in the aftermath of the hurricanes that battered those areas. But there's this weighing, some would, the critics would say, wavering when it comes to Puerto Rico, which is really also adding to the sense that they're being treated differently, these people on that island.
Yeah, I feel like they are being treated differently. And in fact, to give you an example, I wrote this down. This is astounding. The cost to ship a 20-foot container of household goods to Puerto Rico from the East Coast of the United States, $3,063. The cost to ship the same goods to Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, $1,504. Oh, wow. Twice the cost. That's the effect of the Jones Act. In other words, we have a monopoly with the U.S. shipping companies. In other words, you're barring foreign companies. For example, people in Puerto Rico need medicine, they need medical supplies. Don't you think that they can get it for a lot cheaper from Canadian pharmaceuticals? Much cheaper. So they can't do that, though, under the Jones Act. That's why we need the exemption enacted by President Trump.
Or some people say it needs to be permanently taken off the books. I mean, what are the chances?
That's where I don't think you're going to see that happen because of the powerful shipping lobbying group. For example, there are workers in all 50 states in the United States who participate in building what are called component parts to ships, for all the ships. So in other words, think about it. All these congressmen, congress ladies, they have constituents nationwide that are involved in the shipping business. It's going to be hard to repeal it, but clearly you've got to grant at least a year exemption here.
Yeah, Brian, thank you so much. That was really important insight. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, well, if you want to learn how to help hurricane victims in Puerto Rico and around the Caribbean, go to cnn.com/impact. You can donate to one of the charities we've already vetted for you, or you could volunteer your time. All of it is much needed.